Hey y'all. Hey. Finally. Ooh. It took all day to just figure out. It wasn't even simple to even try to. It wasn't even that simple trying to get this stuff done. Um. Yeah. Hold on. Give me one moment. Okay. So this is all set up on Facebook. But let me finish this real quick. I'm gonna wait for some people to come on or whatnot. This is day one of the passport series, and I'll be going over a few benefits of having a passport and talking about more of my personal experience of me and my kids having our U.S. passports. So give me one moment. I just finished on Instagram. I'm sorry, I was supposed to go live at the same time, but you know, give me one moment. Let's see. Oh, also, I'm sorry. Since I'm on here, I really apologize. I'm trying to wrap this stuff up on Instagram. So first of all, today is day one of the passport series. Okay, the benefits of having a U.S. passport. Now, lately, we already know that basically having a U.S. passport has now become a standard of something to have. Um, More people are traveling internationally, um, having TSA pre-check, global entry. You know what I mean? So it's now become like a normal thing to have. Um, just now seeing more black and brown faces out here enjoying themselves. We living, okay? We living. We out here in these travel streets, and I love it all the way around. I had to get into it. You know what I mean? Not just because I haven't always been, of course, an avid traveler, but it's something that really cranked up and cranked in big and bad, you know, from years ago. Um, let's see. Can you guys hear me well? See me well? Okay. So yeah. Um, I just wanted to go over the benefits of having a passport, but some of my personal experiences, years ago, from, whew, it had to be maybe 15, 16 years ago. I used to work for, well, I used to work for them, but as well, I had to get the identification of my own. And it's called TWIC, TWIC, TWIC. And I used to register people for their TWIC card, the people that work in the oil and gas field and work in the maritime field, and they would have to have access in and out of U.S. ports, cruise ports, stuff like that, and as well in and out of the oil and gas refineries. And I was also in the oil and gas field to where I had to have the identification myself. So I would have to register people, and one of the and it comes into play with TSA. TWIC is dealing with TSA, the Transportation Security Administration. So basically, we register these people, ask for their identification, and things like that. But it became, the passport was like one of the main things because the U.S. passport identifies you of being a U.S. citizen. And also other forms of identification that we would ask for is, of course, the state ID or your social security card. And with having the U.S. passport, you don't have to, even with my kids, I didn't have to bring social security cards and birth certificates in order to register my kids for school. But even with registering those people for the TWIC card, I came across a ton of fake identification as far as state IDs, social security cards, even fake passports, and having to know different places of how to tell that those identifications were fake. And we would still have to register those things onto their application, and as well still take their money. If they didn't get a TWIC card back, then there was something wrong with their application, or they just noticed that their identification was fake. So they was just out of, I think it was $165 then or $125 back then. I'm not sure. I haven't been in the oil and gas field in a few years, maybe since 2018 probably. And even then, it got me into figuring out how important a U.S. passport really is. And it's very important. I feel as if it's just one of those main things. I remember years ago where police officers were pulling people over, even those of my skin tone, my color, my shade, being pulled over and asked if we were U.S. citizens. But ain't that some shit, Even, I carry my passport with me, and as well, like sometimes I would take my kids' passports along with me as well, especially when we're traveling, like road tripping and stuff like that. And of course, I make sure that I take it with us when we are flying domestically as well. Get through the process a little bit more conveniently, But let me go over a few benefits. One, of course, you have the option to travel internationally. When we ready to pack up our shit and go, we're going to go internationally. One of my favorite places is, of course, Jamaica. I be ready. I do pop-ups. You know what I mean? Just pop up internationally to a place, and having that, being able to have that, space in order to move in and around and internationally like that, and having stamps in my passport, that's kind of like my that's my goal. And just to feel that you've accomplished something, it's just, puts a great smile on my face, of course. Now, and as well with registering my kids, I don't have to bring that additional identification as far as passports. I mean, not passports, birth certificates, social security cards. I just bring that passport. They even ask my kids, where have they been? And, they have the stamps in the passport. You can look through it. It's just fine. I mean, as long as you ain't stealing their information, it's fine. But even then, like, my kids get asked of the places that they've been, where they've flown to, and I applaud myself. I pat myself on the back because I know that a lot of parents out here feel as if they're not able to. I was like that. You know what I mean? Just one of those. It must be nice, but being from where I'm from, you really don't move around too much like that. And a lot of people are not informed that they're able to. So that's why I'm here. That's my purpose. That's my goal, is to basically educate you. And if you want a travel agent or a travel advisor to assist you, they have to educate you. That's how I feel about it. That's one of my prerequisites. I will let you know the ins and outs, what you need, what you don't need, what you not gonna do, what you need not to do. That's what I do. So anyway, number 2, another benefit would be to it make the TSA security thing a process go a bit smoother. And I know it does for sure when it comes to my kids. And sometimes some parents have those kids that don't talk, and the TSA agent will ask the kid what's their name, and is that your mom, or who is that person to you. And I have to even have paperwork notarized and filled out and everything for me to move around with my kids. But that's on day 3 when we get the kids passport. No, day 4 actually, of the documents and things that you need in order to travel with your kid as a single parent or alone. You may have your significant other, your husband, your spouse, or whatnot, that is on that birth certificate. But you have to have information, like paperwork notarized and filled out, to move around with your kid freely, which is wild. That's your kid, but it happens all the time, So number 3 is, well, I stated earlier, it's one of those main forms of identification to show that you are a U.S. citizen, which is wild because you have a birth certificate, but of course, those that aren't from here don't have a U.S. birth certificate, or one of the state birth certificates, you know what I mean? So it's definitely necessary. I've seen a ton of fake passports, which is wild. Social security cards, fake. It's wild, but it happens all the time. And the way I see identifications being used is more for those that actually need the assistance, which is off the wall, but it happens. But it's one of those main forms of identification. You don't have to bring all the documentation of your birth certificate and your social security card. You're not even supposed to take that stuff outside for real, unless you're applying for your U.S. passport. So yeah, and I think social security cards even come handy, of course, with when you're applying for government assistance, stuff like that. But you're not really supposed to tote your social security card on you on a day-to-day basis. You're not supposed to do that. The people steal your identity that way. They can even steal your identity from your state driver's license, which is wild and wicked. But that's one of those things that you, of course, you keep in your wallet, you keep in your purse. But when it comes to birth certificate and social security cards, keep that stuff at home. Have your U.S. passport, but you make sure that you keep your passport concealed in your purse, glove compartment or whatnot. So, even with police officers, the law enforcement pull you over, they even ask, if you're a U.S. citizen. And as well, they even may ask, where have you been internationally, or where are you from, and all of that different type of stuff. So those things really and truly come in handy. So like I've stated before, it has become a norm it has become a standard of things that you need in your life. So through the series, I am going through the whole process, getting your adult passport, getting your kids' passport, getting the documents, the necessary documents that you need to apply for those passports, and as well for you to travel with your kid internationally. You know, places with, I mean, you're going to need visas if you go to these different countries and stuff like that. Now, TSA pre-check global entry, that's something totally different. If you're part of my email list, I mean, my VIP exclusive list, you get travel tips and updates on a weekly basis. So if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you go to travelingwithcuteluggage.com/freebies. Sign up for my VIP exclusive list. I do send those out on a weekly basis. And as well, register for this passport series. I just come to mind where I just wanted to do a giveaway that'll benefit you within this process. I want to give away something for those that do register. I'll be doing a raffle, and I'll be answering all your questions, all of that good stuff. I'm here. If you have any questions when this closes out, send me a DM. But make sure you register for the series. travelingwithcuteluggage.com/freebies. And I'm here to assist. I'm here to give y'all the knowledge that y'all need in order to make sure this process goes smoothly. If you apply this month, you possibly be able to get your passport by the summer. It takes 8 to 11 weeks. Expedited, I believe it's like, I think 6 to 8 weeks, maybe less. So things have changed, and it's coming up. You're able to renew your passport online now. Things are changing, and in a good way. So they're trying to make it easier for you guys, as well as myself, because I have to get my kids new passport. I'm pushing my daddy to get a passport. He talking about he ain't finna go no international. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, sir. I have your birth certificate. Yes, you are, sir. So we're getting it all the way together. Me, my mom, my kids have passports. I have to renew my kids' passports, and I will send y'all through the process with me with getting my kids' stuff renewed. But it may be after the summer break because my oldest turns 16, and he's able to get an adult passport. Ain't that wild? That's wicked. My child finna be 16 years old. All on his own. Okay. But yes. Yeah. Day 1. Day 2 is going to be a beast. Y'all make sure y'all come on tomorrow. Okay? All right. Y'all have a good day. Make sure y'all have a good day. Make it a good day. All right? See y'all tomorrow. 12 o'clock tomorrow. Love y'all.